So my favorite curl is C, plus C is very natural. Now, also I'm working for the past 2 years with M curl. Do you guys know M curl? Have you learned about? So you probably know B, right? C, D. So the most common are C, CC, D, L, and M.
You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.
I'm not a fan of L because it's very sharp. It's literally like an L, straight and up. It doesn't match my natural lash, so the retention is not gonna stay good. But M is a little bit more curl on the base than the L. So if L comes straight and up, M comes a little round. And I use those effects for eyeliner effects, for wispy eyeliner. And here what I customized, it was a full set of volume with shorter length, C curl, and the spikes were 3 millimeters more than the regular fan with an M curl. Is that complicated? It looks complicated, but trust me, it's very easy to create. You create a full set of volume, could be fan of 2, could be fan of 3, just regular volume. And then between them, I usually do, when you create wispy, right? And we can talk more about wispy at the end. When you create wispy, you can apply the spikes, I will say about 15 to 20 spikes per eye. So you put a spike here, one here, one here, one here, whatever you like. But make sure you put the same on both eyes. Make sense? Now, when you create wispy, the spikes has to be different curl than the regular lash line. So if you use a C for your regular volume, then use D, or in my case, I use M. Or use M just to give that type of spike, like a wispy look. Understand? Questions? Classic and volume. The difference between classic and volume, and how to apply the classic, how to apply the volume. When you apply classic, is 1 by 1, correct? 1, 1, 1, 1. When you apply volume and classic, I usually recommend to go at least 90% coverage, because it's only 1 by 1. You're not gonna see a much difference. Classic is made for people that they already have a lot of lashes, because you're going to apply 1 by 1. Now, when volume comes, you can create from light up to super full lash line, right? Now, when you apply the volume fan, is a little bit different than the classic. You can apply them on top of the natural lash, you can apply on the bottom, or you can apply on the sides. Now, are you guys familiar with cat eye look and an open eye?
Yeah.
You should be familiar from classic. Now, for me, I can create the same look for everybody, fans that I'm going to apply. So for example, if I want to create a cat eye look, right? With the long length on the corner, right? I still create the open look, like short, 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 up, short, short again. Why? Because the fans that I'm going to apply is going to be different than the classic. If the classic is on top, my fan is going to be on the side. So here is the natural lash, here is going to be my fan. And that will make my style like a cat eye. Make sense? If you apply the lashes, the fans, on the bottom, but towards the outside corner, then still you're going to see the cat eye look. If you want to create the open eye look, bringing the eye up in the center, then your application should be on top, right? When you do the fan on the side, it's going to go towards the cat eye. Okay, I'm going to show you this on the board so you can understand better. Question. Here on the side, you're gonna make the volume fan. By the time you pick the fan, you already lost the isolation, right?
Yeah.
That happens with classic too. Now, think about something. You lost the isolation, your fan is already messed up on the case, come back, isolate again. Find again another fan, make the fan. By the time you pick the fan, you lost the pressure on your wrist and the fan opened. So in that case, I always recommend make the fans before. Just take your time, like an hour per day. Customize 30 fans. By the time you have a client, you can just pick them, go in the glue, apply, because the fan is already made for you. Nothing is gonna close, nothing is gonna go up and down because the fan is already made. So that's the technique that we're gonna learn today. Yes. Oh God. My husband knows about this because I'm very against of this.
Most people are.
Pre-made fans. Pre-made fans. So I'm very honest with you, right? Because everything that I know, I'm going to share with you guys. I do have my own brand with fans, but I never recommend them. Not now. Because now you need to understand how you customize them, how you make them. Just let me explain you something. When COVID came, right? A lot of manufacturers, they went out of pre-made fans. If you're a person that you have a full clientele on your system and you don't have the pre-made fans anymore, what you gonna do? Because you don't know how to customize them. So now your time was 2 hours. It's very, very thin, exactly like this. They feel like you already made them. But if it's not the same brand that you use for the glue, imagine they already glue them together on the base, right? Because they come already made. When you have a client, you use different type of glue because maybe you don't use their glue. So you have 2 type of glues. If your client is going to have any reaction, is from where? From your glue or from the glue that they already used? So that's why I always recommend make them before. And the technique that we're gonna learn, and is very rare to see this technique, it will help you to customize them before. So you're gonna have them in your case. When the client comes, you just pick them already pre-made, but you made them with your glue, with the same glue, and you know how to customize them. Another thing about the pre-mades, because you asked me about the pre-mades now, you cannot customize them the way you want. Because they already open. Could be wide, could be more narrow. You don't know how they are because they already made them for you, right? If you have a client that they have a full lash line, lashes next to each other, but they have a little gap in the middle of the eye, you create narrow fan from the whole lash line and you need to create a wider fan for that little gap. How you're going to customize that if the fan is already made for you? So that's why I recommend make them as you go or make them before, just to customize them the way you like. Now, we talked about how you apply the fan on top, on the side, on the top. When you apply a fan on the top, it's going to look very symmetric, very lined on the top, more like an open look. If you apply them on the side of the natural lashes, right, they're gonna go towards the cat eye, more towards outside. And even when you brush, you have to explain your clients to brush them towards outside so you can bring that shape out. If they brush them from the top straight up, then the style is going to look like an open eye. So you can create the same style, but apply the fans different so you can see the direction of the fan. Make sense? Any questions about the fans? Now, creating a symmetric lash line means you have to apply the lashes next to each other, all of them straight. If one lash goes like this, one like this, one like this, one like this, then the whole set at the end is going to look a mess. You're not going to see that beautiful direction and beautiful top. Now, how you're going to customize that beautiful fan? When you have a client, the natural lashes, you already practice classic, so not everybody is the same, right? We have different type of people that they have very down lashes, very straight lashes, people that they have very curly lashes, or people that they have different type of growth, right? Now, when you work with volume, you can fix the direction of the natural lash. So for example, if I have a client that the natural lashes are growing on the side, right? When you come with your fan, if you follow the base, this is very important. You can take notes if you want. You never follow the direction on the growth of the natural lash. we always follow the base. The base is it's about 2 to 3 millimeters. That's it. The rest you don't care because we don't have glue all the way to the top. If the natural lash is growing on the right, then your fan should be applied on the left to make that lash line straight. If you apply the extension and the fan exactly like the natural lash is growing, then all your fans are going to go everywhere. Make sense? Understand? So if the natural lash is growing different, you only follow the base. And I'm going to show you that on the board later. Now, we have different type of fans. We have narrow fans, medium narrow, and a wide fan. I'm going to explain you the narrow and the wide. Like I said earlier, narrow fans, they are very straight, up like this, right? What type of people will benefit on those type of fans? People that they already have a full lash line, full 2, 3, 4 layers, right, of natural lashes. People that they have very gappy lashes, then you're going to use a wider fan. So here I have a full lash line, normal lash line, and a lash line with gaps that we're missing a lot of lashes. People that they have a full lash line, you don't want to create a wider fan because they already have a lot of lashes. You can create narrow fan and stay straight, and that will give you that beautiful and nice top line. Understand? People that they have gappy lashes and we're missing a lot of lashes, for those type of people you want to use the wider fan just because you want to cover a lot. Now there is a difference between American volume and a Russian volume. Russian volume are those beautiful, neat, perfect, working on layers, very nice top like this. You see all of them narrow? Now American volume, they customize those fans like pinching method. Have you heard about pinching? So you grab the lashes, you pinch them between the fingers, and they open the way they want. You cannot control the opening. Why? Because you pinch them with your fingers. So they open very, very wide. So that will be like, I call this more like a messy look because the lashes are going between the other lashes, right? They go everywhere. Narrow, they stay straight, right?
If you got a passion for lashes, let me see it. It's time to level up. If you need me to, I'll teach you my 6-figure secret. Better believe it, cause I believe in you. You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.